A WWE superstar is known for his moves in the ring, but it's his moves in an elevator that landed him in the Orange County Jail.
Ludwig Kaiser, whose real name is Marcel Barthel, faces a simple battery charge for an altercation that police say happened in an Orlando apartment building. West News' Justin Shecker is live for us downtown near Lake Eola. Justin, you reached out to the pro wrestler's attorney.
And Stu, that attorney tells me Marcel Barthel has no comment at this time. Court documents describe what Orlando police say happened on the 12th floor of the downtown building. It was a comment about the WWE star getting too intimate with a woman in the elevator that set off the attack.
Public display of affection, I know people get weird with, and I get it. It's not for everyone, but getting into an altercation about it, that's crazy. I don't know why people would do that, but anyway.
In this building, I've lived here 11 and a half years, and no such thing has happened that I have ever heard of.
Police say they obtained surveillance video from...
Damn. His legal name is now officially everywhere on the internet now. Marcel Barthel.
The police report says the victim watched Barthel and a woman aggressively kissing in the elevator. It explains Barthel attacked him after he told the couple, please have some manners.
It's never okay to put your hands on somebody.
The responding officer says he observed a fresh scratch and redness on the back of the victim's head.
Well, I'm really sorry.
Court records show the attorney already entered a written plea of not guilty. While Barthel doesn't live far from the WWE Performance Center in East Orlando, his attorney also filed a motion to allow him to travel.
And the reason for that, because as you guys know, he is the Kaiser Americano or the other Americano, so he doesn't need to be able to travel, or that build that he had through AAA would diminish because of this. So that was a very important thing that his attorney needed to push, which is great that he got it done.
He writes, Mr. Barthel is an international performer who is required to travel throughout the United States and around the world to remain employed. The motion says he doesn't have a criminal history and he's not a danger to others.
April 23rd, 2026, at an Orlando apartment building where Marcel Barthel resides. The complainant is a male neighbor in the same building. The arrest came nearly 4 weeks later. Why it took so long is beyond me. The warrant came out around May 20th after police completed their investigation. Now, the charge is misdemeanor battery, and it was filed in Orange County, Florida. But let's finish this video and we can go deeper.
And the attorney filed an updated motion saying the prosecutor doesn't object to the pro wrestler traveling. Now, Barthel is out of jail on a $1,000 bond. The motion from his attorney says he can't have contact with the complaining witness. Covering Orange County live in downtown Orlando, I'm Justin Shecker, West 2 News.
All right, so bond was set to $1,000. Barthel posted bond and was released the same day. A non-contact condition involving the complainant was attached to his release. Now, Barthel, 35 years old, he performs in WWE under the names of Ludwig Kaiser, but he is also secretly known as El Grande Americano. If I ruined it for you, I apologize, but kind of hard to pretend jokingly that he's not Grande Americano with all this situation, so I'm trying to keep it real. He actually learned of the warrant while he was working in Mexico on May 19th and returned to Florida to voluntarily put on May 20th to surrender himself to the authorities. He had no criminal past. Here's what the arrest affidavit reporting describes. Their agency stated as filed, and this is from where we got this from. This we got at no DQ. So per the affidavit, the alleged victim, okay, so they have the count for battery misdemeanor, right? He said the defendant shall be admitted to bail for $1,000. Okay, and here we go. Here's, I believe, the full report. All right. On April 23rd, 2026, at approximately 1837 hours, which is 6:37 p.m., I, Officer Cortez, badge number, responded to the Paramount on Lake Eola Apartments located at yada 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 Pine Street. Unfortunately, he has to move now, in reference to a reported battery. Upon arrival, I made contact with the complaint victim, Richard Reep. Reep stated he was battered by an unknown white male just outside the elevator on the 12th floor. Reep advised that at approximately 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, he entered the elevator and was followed by an unknown white male and unknown white female. We're going to get to that part separately, how he described each person. Reep stated that As the elevator ascended, the male and female began acting in an uncontrollably intimate manner, which he described as aggressively kissing. Okay, I don't know how uncontrollably intimate that is, but okay, we'll keep going. Reap stated that once the elevator reached the 12th floor, he exited the elevator and told the couple to please have some manners. Reap advised that immediately after making the statement, the unknown male began attacking him. Reap described the attack as the male punching him multiple times and pushing him to the ground. Reap further stated the male made threats of additional violence towards him. Reap advised he believed the suspect is a resident of the apartment building and stated he wished to pursue criminal charges. Damn. I observed a large, fresh scratch on the back of Heap's head. So apparently somewhere in his head he has a big scratch, along with redness in that same area. Redness could lead to punching or whatever, like his head is tender. Consistent with a recent physical altercation. While Reap was completing a sworn written statement, Officer Benavides, another officer, arrived on the scene to assist. Officer Benavides made contact with on-site security and reference to possible surveillance footage. Officer Benavides reviewed surveillance footage from the 12th floor and observed a white male punching and pushing Reap outside of the elevator at approximately the same time as reported. So he was punching and pushing him. They had surveillance video and they were able to confirm the attack. Through investigative means, Officer Benavides and I identify a possible suspect as Marcel Barthel, who matched the description observed in the surveillance footage. It should be noted that Barthel is a current resident of the apartment complex located at Sosor. At approximately 9:42 p.m. Eastern Time, I, along with I'm assuming Captain Shaler, returned to the location to conduct a photographic lineup with Shaler, who has no prior involvement in the investigation, read the photographic lineup instructions, allowed to read, acknowledged he understood the instructions, and signed the instruction form. Is it corporate or captain? Anyway, Shaler then presented Reap with a photographic lineup consisting of 6 individuals, including the suspect. The photographs were labeled 1 through 6, were in black and white, and were similar in appearance. Upon viewing the lineup, Reap immediately identified a photographic number 5 by circling it and initiating it as the individual who battered him. The individual in the photograph number 5 was positively identified as Marcel Barthel. Based on the totality of the circumstances, probable cause was established for the arrest of Marcel Barthel for simple battery. Now, that was the full report. Okay, so as I said, per the affidavit, the elevator reached the 12th floor and the neighbor exited. He told the couple, please have some manners. The affidavit alleged that immediately after the statement, the male began punching the neighbor multiple times, pushed him to the ground, and made threats of additional violence. Now, the alleged victim was documented with a large scratch on his head. Police reviewed building security camera footage. The footage allegedly depicted a white male punching and shoving the victim. Investigators identified Barthel as the suspect through the footage. The complaint then identified Barthel through a photo array. So, usually if something happens, you ever seen on TV the lineup of people, they do that in person. I guess they did a similar version with photos. Now, these are the agencies, the police department's stated fact. They are the allegations at this stage in time. They have not been adjudicated because the case is still open. So this is a statement. So just you guys know, these are statements picked up by the police officer. This is the story written that they took down from the victim, and then they describe what they saw in the video. So this is part of the story, right? So when we get to that, we're going to talk about another thing that happened, and we can go through that. Yep, I do. So can I scroll through this? No, I can't. Give me a sec. I thought I had this hotkey set up. I guess not. This is so weird. All right, where's the Nets? Hide video. No. I have to scroll. Sorry, give me a second. I thought I had this set up, but I didn't. Here we go. And I'll set up the next one as well. All right. Anyway, Boom. Boom. Okay. So as I said, so let's talk a bit about the AAA event, because that really messed up a lot of people, at least the fans, and Ludwig Kaiser himself. The day after this arrest, AAA Lucha Libre canceled an event that they were hosting with him, which was the Serenata para el Grande Americano event in Mexico City. The event was scheduled for the evening of May 21st. AAA issued a brief statement confirming the cancellation. No public reason was given for the cancellation. Now, Barthel was previously scheduled, or is still scheduled, to compete in a mass versus mass match against Chad Gable, or Original Grande Americano, at AAA's Noche de los Grandes on May 30th of this year, which is next week. And as of this reporting, the status of that match was in doubt when he got arrested, but I think we're still moving forward. AAA has not issued a public statement regarding the May 30th match, but we will continue. At that time, they didn't have one. But also during that time, WWE didn't issue a public statement on the arrest during that day of May 21st. And then the other media outlets started doing the reports and news articles about it. But anyway, the story gets interesting because the new development after the arrest is as follows. Per court filings reported by PW Insider and other venues, including the Q, they had an updated report on May 22nd. Defense counsel filed an updated motion to travel, which you watch in the previous report, that the filing confirmed that the assistant state attorney, the prosecutor handling this case, communicated to defense counsel that the state has no objection to Barthel traveling out of state and internationally while this case is still pending. So he got that. He got the bail. So per the motion, Barthel is, on quote, an international performer who is required to travel through the United States and around the world to remain employed. The motion notes he has no prior criminal history anywhere in the world and maintains his innocence. Court approval is still pending, but with the prosecution states no objection on the record, the path to international travel for work appears clear, which is exactly what happened, because he eventually was cleared and he went to Mexico for future AAA events. So now it seems like the event that includes AAA's Noche de los Grandes on May 30th is happening with a Grande Americano being part of it. Now, before I go to that, and this is his waiver, he did a waiver Arraignment, plea not guilty. So let's go through that, and then I want to go through another item that I found annoying, which is heartbreaking. So the undersignee files the notice of appearance on behalf of defendant Marcel Barthel in the above style cause. The defendant Marcel Barthel, by and through his undersigned attorney, hereby waives the appearance for purposes of arraignment. The defendant enters a plea of not guilty to the charges filed against him in the cause based upon the courts allowing the defendant 10 days from the date of his scheduled arraignment within which to file all motions directed towards the face of the charging instrument. The defendant requires a trial to be said charges. So he is clearly stating he's not guilty, and he will provide reasons soon enough. The defendant, Marcel Barthel, by and through his undersigned attorney, hereby moves the honorable court to enter an order allowing him to travel out of state. So this is the motion to allow the state the international travel out of the state of Florida and internationally as the grounds therefore states as follows. On May 19, 2026, the defendant, Marcel Barthel, became aware of the warrant of his arrest for allegedly assaulting another resident of his apartment complex in downtown Orlando approximately 1 month ago. At the time, he learned of the warrant. Mr. Barthel was in Mexico for work purposes and immediately made plans to travel back to Orlando to deal with the warrant. Mr. Barthel traveled back to Orlando on May 20th and turned himself into the Orange County Jail. He was released after posting a $1,000 bond with conditions that he have no contact with the complaining witness. Mr. Barthel is an international performer who is required to travel through the United States and around the world to remain employed. His primary residence in the apartment complex in downtown Orlando, where the alleged incident occurred. Now, Mr. Barthel had no prior criminal history and so on and so forth, which we talked about. Wherefore, for the foregoing reason, the defendant respectfully requests an honorable mention to enter the order to allow him to travel, which he got approved. Anyway, before we get to further stuff, so he has a running case going against him. But one of the biggest stories that showed up in during this incident, even before more stories popped up as of late yesterday and early today, is that according to the file, which is the warrant of arrest, Kaiser and an unknown white female were uncontrollably intimate in an apartment building elevator before being told to have some manners by another resident. Kaiser then attacked that person by pushing him and throwing multiple punches, so on and so forth. Why is that important? Because a lot of people are wondering who that is. Because if you don't know, Ludwig Kaiser is dating someone, Andrea Bazzarte. He is, and here we go. We'll just go to her account. Here we go. Andrea Bazzarte. This is Ludwig Kaiser's current girlfriend. And why my page won't load is beyond me. Like, for real. What is going on? So this is Ludwig Kaiser's current girlfriend. He actually took her to the WWE Hall of Fame a few weeks ago. That is them. Perfect. The interesting thing is, unless this guy is blind or so forth, this is not a white female. She is, from my understanding, and please do not quote me on this, I believe she is from Mexican descent, or she is definitely Spanish. So no white lady in here, as you can see. So it's kind of scary when you hear this story and the guy is describing her unknown white female, unless he was in a rage of panic, scared for his life. Anyway, so people, as the internet goes, when you hear that statement, people go crazy and they start doing statements like, oh, was he cheating? Oh, was he this? And everyone, I hope he wasn't cheating. Well, unfortunately, we don't know because no one is talking. No one has brought up anything. No one has said anything, but until late yesterday. So the only thing we have to stand on is this tweet right here, which comes from Raj Girl, which apparently he's somehow tied with Ludwig Kaiser. Take it for a grain of salt, but this is what he writes on his X at yesterday afternoon. This is what I heard regarding the Ludwig Kaiser situation. He was in the apartment elevator with Andrea Bazzarte, and they were being affectionate, but nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. Reap allegedly didn't say anything in the elevator. Reap being the guy who accused him, the one that got scratches in his head. He didn't say anything in the elevator, but once he got out of the 12th floor, he allegedly said something to Kaiser to the effects of, and this is important, you need to show some effing respect before I call ICE on that biatch. So now we have a different story that is way different than what's reported in the arrest warrant. So according to this guy, he's saying that he was with Andrea Bazzarte and that he didn't say, can you not do that, or whatever he said before. He said, you need to show some effing respect before I call ICE on that girl. And obviously this guy saw this girl and all he saw was a Hispanic woman. And given that it's Florida and, there's a lot of immigrants there, he probably thought she was illegal, which is not. I can tell you 100% if it is Andrea Bazzarte with Ludwig Kaiser during this incident, she definitely has a visa. She definitely does, because she did travel even before this event. She went to WrestleMania 42. How do I know that? Well, her Instagram tells no lies. Her Instagram shows her at the event. Here it is. This is her at WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. She was doing some announcing or backstage segment or whatever. She probably was doing it for the Espanol WWE, because she is a TV host for WWE Espanol and obviously AAA. So he probably saw her. He thought very stereotypically or asshole-ish, thought she was an illegal person, and he said a effed up statement, or he was just being an asshole in general. It could be, I don't know at this point. But he saw something and he said the most effed up thing that you can think of. And what would you expect from Kaiser? Kaiser, I mean, as far as I can see, from videos I've seen of him with people he cared about and so on and so forth, Kaiser seems like a gentleman, from all we know. And of course, when someone says a statement as effed up as that, what did you expect from the male counterpart of that significant other to do? So yeah, he was going to beat the living crap out of him. You said the most effed up thing. You threatened this lady with the most effed up situation that you can give someone. And like I said, she definitely, through WWE, she got a working visa to travel between the countries. because WWE is a high-level company, they need to make sure that all their documents are correct. And that was one of them. So no way, maybe she has a traveling visa, a working visa to the US. Who knows if she is actually just from Mexico or she's from here and she goes to Mexico. Doesn't matter. She definitely has working documents. So WWE would never mess with that type of situation. So he went too far. Did Kaiser went too far? He could have just punched him less. Yeah. But I don't think he was just working out of affection, out of love for his significant other. He was in the heat of the passion, I guess, at that point. The same way CM Punk went crazy with the cell phone slap at WrestleMania at the hotel to protect his wife AJ Lee and his friend Bailey. Similar situation. This is another situation of an idiot going too far. And yeah, he went, and Kaiser gone a little like down, yeah, but you know, it is what it is. Now, the video, I can't say maybe he's fabricating the beatdown. Honestly, if they have a video that shows that he did punch the way he did, then not much of that. But what was said, I don't know if they didn't state if the video had audio. So we don't know what was actually said. So now we have two versions of a story, and we will just have to find out which one is true. Now, when it comes to Andrea Bazarte, I really hope it was her, and this guy just doesn't know how to identify a Hispanic a Hispanic woman versus a white woman, or he was just too ignorant to do it. Because otherwise, people are going to fabricate on the question of, was Ludwig Kaiser with another woman? And that will be heartbreaking. I don't think Ludwig Kaiser is that kind of man. I'm really hoping he's not, because right now he's very loved within a community of fandom, and him effing up like this could hurt his career. So, and what do I mean by that? Well, after the event, after he was released, the serenade continued, and yeah, he continued, and he even made a post. Te voy a hacer justicia, mi amor, por ti y por México. I'm gonna do justice for you, my love, for you and for Mexico. And there you go. But it was an image he dropped. This was on May 3rd. So he's doing justice for him and her. So that. And then he finally got to the show. The fans rally behind him because they're just proud to have him there. El Grande Americano after Ludwig Kaiser's arrest. So Triple H is moving forward with an event to honor Grande Americano despite the recent legal issues involving Ludwig Kaiser. Friday on social media, Triple H posted El Grande Americano needs all your support ahead of Triple H Noche de los Grandes. See you today at 7 p.m. in the King League Dome. On Thursday, a post read the event has been canceled, but now it's brought up. So the reason why all the crowd is backing it up is due to the Raj Giri post, because Raj Giri, founder of Wrestling Inc., shared that what he shared of the situation, said that Kaiser was with his girlfriend and they were being affectionate, and he was protecting her based on that statement, that ICE statement. And because of that, of course, the Mexican fandom will support it because it's a positive. You know, they support him protecting someone from injustice, obviously. So it was a lot of respect were given back to him. So it was the fans were behind him more than ever. And then look the pop that he gets. The crowd is there. He's getting emotional. He's very emotional about the event. He was there for the crowd. Anyway, so he got very emotional. And then even here's a close-up of him. This says it all right here. Yo, bro is Mexican now. I fear we will never see Ludwig Kaiser in WWE ever again. The greatest of all time. Yeah, I mean, bro is the most whitest Mexican ever standing up for his woman. Yeah, facts. So it's crazy. Like, one stupid guy over a stupid statement can mess up a guy's career so quickly. Hopefully justice is served. I mean, I don't expect Kaiser to unfortunately go fully clean, but the story will get straightened out. If he unfortunately did hit him, I don't know by how much, but the video's all there that the police has, and maybe he's gonna get some type of thing that he has to do. Maybe he'll be on probation, who knows, but I don't think it's gonna be I don't see if it's a jailable offense. I really hope not, especially if this guy was egging him, but we will see. Anyway, let's see this rest of this thing. Unfortunately, AAA has not issued a formal statement explaining the reversal between the May 21st cancellation announcement and this 22nd appearance. we are going based on what's being said, but no one has said anything from AAA or even WWE. Now, one person that did say something was JBL, which, shocker. JBL is probably one of the first public statements made from a major WWE figure on this. So, and it came from him. JBL, John Layfield, WWE Hall of Famer. He, per the coverage from PWA News or whatever and other outlets, JBL publicly stated that he is, and I quote, on Kaiser's side on this. He further stated he is, quote, not passing judgment, and that, quote, the truth is somewhere in the middle. And that's true. That is probably the most truthful statement you can make. He, as far as I can see, he defended his woman, during an incident that a guy went probably off limits. What he exactly said, that's the thing we need to find out, or that they'll find out through the court case, and how exaggerative the guy reported on Kaiser, we will have to find out as well. WWE as a company also has not issued a public statement on the arrest on this reporting, and they are not commenting. A lot of news media outlets went to them and they said no comment. Now, per Body Slam, WWE remains, quote, very impressed with Kaiser's portrayal of El Grande Americano. Per other reports, WWE has not changed his standing or scheduling pending this case. So we will see. That's as far as we go as of today, May 23rd, on the case. I'm sure more will come up in the future, and we will just have to find out more. So 3 questions for you guys in the chat or in the comments, and you let me know. One was what is it? Sorry. One, what is reported here is so far in the warrant a record statement that we know so far. These are officially going to be publicly filed court documents in the court, and the reporting from these these incidents, allegations at this stage, and they're not findings. So far, this is someone blaming. Now, a guilt plea is the defendant's statement to the court. It is not a verdict. So let me know if you guys think what is going to be truthful in this verdict. Do you think this guy is pretty much telling the truth, or was he fibbing? Now, 2, please, and I'm going to ask, please keep the comment section appropriate to the seriousness of this topic. We are not reporting the record. We are not we're not editorializing this case. So be cautious when you guys do that. So just know we are just stating what's being said, and we will just have to find out what is truth. There's this statement, and as of now, there's also this statement. 2 different stories, 2 different sides of it. Who knows where the middle is? That's the thing. There's these 2 stories, and then there's the middle. Now, 3, when it comes to this, the case is active. There will be more updates. If there is a court ruling, we'll talk about it if it's made public. And if WWE issues a statement about this, we'll talk about it as well. If Triple H changes their stance and makes a statement, we will talk about it as well. And we'll see how far we go. But I think right now the reason they're not talking, because they are preparing. They have to first get through this AAA event. And from there, they'll figure it out. The AAA event's happening that's Saturday, so they need to get through that. And from there, I'm sure between the lawyers for Ludwig Kaiser and WWE and AAA, they'll figure out how to prepare for this and get, hopefully, Kaiser out of this situation. But I think this, in my opinion, I think this guy just, honestly, if you see PDA, just look away. I mean, I live in New York City. I see some PDA level of stuff all the time in subways, sometimes in buses, even in the parks. And it is what it is, especially with younger people. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, Kaiser is 35, but he's in love. What can you expect? People do the craziest things when they're in love, including beating a guy up in the middle of a freaking hotel or apartment. But it wasn't a DUI, Geek Zip. I know. That's what everyone thinks it would be a DUI, because that's usually why a wrestler usually gets arrested. It's happened in the past, especially with Usos and I believe Roman Reigns and other wrestlers like Liv Morgan. It was because she had something, a possession of something. So yeah, I hear you. But yeah, no, it was that. Ludwig Kaiser unfortunately got into an altercation with a man over a statement he said about them doing PDA Now, this, like I said, the story between the two, please have some manners. But this story by someone else is saying that guy actually told Kaiser and his girlfriend, you need to show some effing respect before I call ICE on that biatch. And why it is crazy, because his girlfriend is a Hispanic woman. So unfortunately, he will take that. And look how happy he is. Look how happy this man is. He looks very happy with her. You know, it's he is definitely happy with this guy, with her, and she's happy with him. Look at these two. I've never seen this, because honestly, when I saw, he used to date Tiffany Stratton, and when he dated Tiffany Stratton, he was very whatever. Like he was not as expressive as he is now with her. Look at this. Anyway, I really hope for the best. I hope this gets settled and they can move forward, because I think Ludwig Kaiser as Grande Americano is probably one of the best things that I've seen through AAA. Besides all the other stuff AAA does, AAA is an amazing show and promotion, but he's just adding more to his career, and I hate for this to be ruined over a stupid guy who can't just let people be them. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the video. If the T hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.